All right. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Katie Powell, and I am a well-being consultant here at Care First. I'm really excited that you guys have joined for our January wellness webinar, Stay Strong and Stay Healthy. At the start of the new year, that's when many of us tend to evaluate different areas of our lives. So today we are going to play on that theme. Next slide. There we go, table of contents. So what are we going to talk about? So we are going to discuss habits. What are they and why do they matter? We're going to talk about how do we build upon them so they are ongoing. We're also going to discuss the challenges that tend to come along the way. And then we'll recap at the end and talk about some of the Care First resources that are provided to you. All right, we're going to start off with a quick poll. So would love to know from you all, which area or areas of your life do you want to improve this new year in 2025? I'll give you a second to answer. Lots of great ones coming in. Physical health is definitely on the top. Exercise happens to also be one of mine. Give it one more minute. Right. So it looks like what matters most to you all this year is going to be physical activity, mental health, and emotional well-being. That is wonderful, and thanks for sharing. On the next slide, this is kind of just a peek as to what other Americans have on their mind for resolutions for 2025. They also have things like eating healthier and being more physically active, but financial as well. And we do have some folks that are not making a resolution, which is also perfectly fine. Today's topic is going to kind of tie resolutions, but really focus more on habits and goal setting. All right, so quick history lesson for you. New Year's resolutions go back to the year 153 BC, and Janus was a mythical god of Rome. Janus is where we get January from. Janus was seen by the Romans as having two faces, one looking in the future and one looking in the past. This was symbolic for them to reflect on last year and the resolutions that they want to make going forward. I'm not sure though, but it's probably not a surprise that resolutions tend to fail. And the reason being that resolutions are goals without systems. So I like to think of it like this. Resolutions are like wanting to build a house, right? But with no blueprint. I'm sure you can imagine why that would not be successful. It's an idea. It's a great idea, but it doesn't have any direction. I learned recently when doing research for this presentation that the second Friday in January is actually known as Quitter's Day, because at this point, many folks have already quit their resolution. And then by February, 75% of all resolutions have failed. I personally am not a fan of failure, and I like to think and believe that we can all achieve our wellness desires. So instead of focusing on so much of the resolution, we're going to focus on the habits that will get us to our goal. All right, so let's talk habits now. Habits matter because they are automatic routines in our everyday lives. Habits can be positive, habits can be negative. So for example, a positive habit could be brushing your teeth every day or taking a shower every morning. And negative habits could be things like snacking late at night or staying up too late watching TV. It's helpful to understand this because we need to know that negative habits are routines and we want to break them. I think it's kind of funny that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. That's not really how it works. And nearly half of all of our daily actions are actually established habits that we do over and over again. So again, new year, it's a great time to kind of reevaluate and figure out where we are, where we want to be, and how do we get there. So there's actually science behind it. Charles Duhigg, I believe that's how you present it, created the habit loop. Okay. The habit loop starts with the cue. So a cue is a trigger that starts a habit. This can be in your environment, your emotional state, a specific time of day. So an example could be seeing your running shoes by the door. That is a visual cue. That's positive. Or it could be something a little bit more negative, such as feeling really stressed after work. That's your emotional cue. Then there's the craving, and the craving is the emotional or the physical desire that drives you to perform that habit. It's what makes the cue powerful and the routine appealing. So for the visual cue of seeing the running shoes, you might have a craving of the endorphins and that energy boost that you get after exercise. Or going back to feeling stressed after work, that emotional cue, a craving could be wanting comfort or satisfaction from a sugary snack. A routine then is the behavior in itself. It's the action that you take to satisfy the craving. So running shoes by the door, knowing that you would get the endorphins and the energy boost, and then actually going for a run. The other example is that feeling stressed after work, the really wanting of comfort food, and then indulging in that, eating a cookie or ordering takeout. And the reward is the outcome. So whether negative or positive, it's the results you get from the habit that is what reinforces it. So for our running, you can feel accomplished, you can feel energized, you can feel proud of yourself. For the reward, you could feel comfort or relaxed after the snack. However, there's not a benefit to that, while there is a benefit to running and being physically active. So the importance of habits is knowing that we are kind of inherently structured to follow through with habits. So if you focus on building habits, you're 80% more likely to achieve that goal, that resolution, whatever it is that your overarching desire. We make 35,000 decisions a day. That is a lot of decisions, 35,000, some small, some really big, but all count. That's why decisions really matter and habits really matters, because habits reduce decision fatigue. They drive success. They create stability. They also impact different areas of well-being. So this next one is probably one of my favorites. It plays upon talking about decisions. So next slide. I'd like to give you an example or a visual of a decision. In this case, I like to use physical activity, which is a lot of your goals and resolutions. I personally think a lot of folks, even myself, struggle with physical activity, whether it's finding time to be physically active or having the motivation. The physical activity recommendations for adults is 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity every week with muscle and strength training incorporated. So that's roughly about 30 minutes most days a week. Now, 30 minutes can sound like a lot, 30 minutes to get on a treadmill or 30 minutes to take this class. But in the grand scheme of things, 30 minutes in a 24-hour period is only less than 1% of your day. Less than 1% of your day. So there are 1,440 minutes in a day. You do the math and you divide it, that's less than 1%. Don't you think we can all dedicate 1% to our overall health and well-being? Whether it's 1% being physically active or 1% spending that time cooking a healthy home-cooked meal versus, eating the takeout that you grabbed on the way home. 30 minutes is really a small amount of time, but it can be a really great overall impact to your overall health and well-being. And just to kind of play on physical activity because it's so important. Physical activity helps you to maintain your weight, reduce health risks such as heart disease and diabetes and cancers, but it's good for your overall health and well-being as well. So again, positive habits don't just improve one area like we just talked about. It can be a ripple effect. Seeing those shoes at the front door, leading to a run, getting that reward of being, accomplished. Regular exercise, again, just doesn't boost your physical health. It also will play into different areas like reduce stress, improve focus, increase energy levels. By aligning your habits with your goal, you then are going to be more successful in your overall well-being. And speaking of goals, let's transition to building and maintaining them. I'm going to start with a pop quiz though. Would love to know if you guys know what the acronym SMART stands for. S-M-A-R-T. I'm not going to give away any hints, so SMART. For anyone who doesn't know, SMART is an acronym that we like to use when creating goals. Lots of good answers. Give it one more minute. All right, looks like it slowed down. So if you guessed specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, you are correct. To build a house, we need a blueprint. Remember, to set a goal or a resolution, we need a plan. So goal setting is powerful because it provides focus. It shapes our dreams. It gives us the ability to hone in on the exact actions we need to perform to achieve what we want. So S is specific. You have to clearly define what you want to achieve. Measurable. Make sure your goal can be tracked. Achievable. You want to set a goal that's realistic, that you are sure that you can attain. 4, you want it to be relevant. That's our R. You want to align your goals with what matters most to you. And then you want to set a deadline or a time frame for your goals. So a general goal could be, I want to eat healthier. Okay, it's a great goal, but how are you going to do that? A SMART goal would be, I will add 1 serving of vegetables at lunch and dinner 3 days this week for the month. Do you see how there's difference in it? By eating more vegetables throughout the month, you are working towards your goal of overall eating healthy. Another example, I want to drink more water, right? So specific, I will drink 6 glasses of water each day. That's measurable, right? We can track how much water we drink. Is 6 glasses of water achievable? You can start your SMART goal with smaller increments and then increase. So I love this example because drinking 6 glasses of water is a lot if you're not drinking any water a day. But by drinking 2 glasses a day, you're going to be more likely to be successful. What happens sometimes is that if we set goals too high and we don't achieve them, it does the opposite of motivate us. It actually makes us more likely to quit and to give up. So 2 glasses, definitely achievable. Drinking more water is relevant because it's better for you, no calories, it boosts your energy, it improves your focus. And let's be honest, we're mostly made up of water anyways. And then the last is time bound. So I'm going to implement this habit on this day. I'm going to get to that full 6 glasses within 2 months. So to read the SMART goal, it would read, I will drink 6 glasses of water daily within 2 months, starting with 2 glasses and tracking my progress in a journal. We're going to come back to water in a second, but we have a quick little activity. So in the chat, I would love for you to turn this into a SMART goal. I want to run more. How do we turn that into something that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based? And I'll give you guys a minute or so to do that. And feel free to break it up. If you just want to put, specific first, and then measurable, and then achievable. I love that. We just had one that said, I will run for 30 minutes daily for the next 4 weeks. I will run half a mile 2 times a week. This one's great. I will get up at 6 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will work out for 30 minutes. These are all you guys are getting the concept. I will run 1 mile daily for 1 month. The only other suggestion I would have is just make sure that you plan for life, because life happens. A kid gets sick, a car breaks down, work tends to, pile up around a certain time of the month. So instead of setting a goal for every single day, give yourself that grace period. Start with, I want to achieve 3 days. Even if you do 7 days, that's wonderful. You have exceeded your expectation and your goal. That's going to do absolutely nothing but motivate you to continue to move forward. However, if we say, I want to do 7 days and you only accomplish 3, that's not going to be as helpful and beneficial. So just be a little bit more realistic when it comes to the commitment aspect, just because life does happen. If you get 7 days, phenomenal, but it's okay if you want to start with 3 or 4. All right, next slide. Okay, so going back to the water, if you're drinking that 2 glasses of water a day, that small goal becomes your habit. And by being consistent, you will reach your larger goal of those 6 glasses, and you will achieve success, which is really the reward. So the goal is to start small, be consistent, and reap the reward. We're going to talk about another concept now, which is stacking habits that will help us gain momentum. Remember, we are looking for progress, not perfection. So one great way to achieve goals is to stack habits. Let's say your goal is this year you want to achieve walking 10,000 steps. So one small habit that you can implement is marching in place while you brush your teeth. So we brush our teeth twice a day, right? Hopefully 2 minutes each time. If you march in place while brushing your teeth, which is something that you're already going to do, you're adding on 4 minutes of walking to your day. You multiply that by 7 days, you've added on 28 minutes of walking to your week. You've not added really anything else to your plate. You're just stacking on top of something that you're already doing. Now, if you do 28 minutes times 52 weeks, you're talking about, now I'm weary of my math because I just saw I had a little math error, but that's 1,456 minutes, okay? If on average, a person walks 100 steps a minute, by adding stepping to brushing your teeth, you can add 145,600 steps. Gosh, and just think about if you added flossing in as well. This technique just builds on your current success instead of starting from scratch. And then you can apply this to lots of different areas. So while you're microwaving something, instead of standing in front of the microwave and watching it, do some jumping jacks. Or if you're turning on the water to get ready for the shower and it takes a minute to warm up, do some push-ups, anything like that. Even if it's maybe not physical activity, but it's more mental. If you're, waiting in line, or gosh, you're at a stoplight, take a few long, deep, slow breaths. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. So you're going to be at stoplights, they always happen. You're just adding on some mental health activity as well. All right. So next is designing a habit-friendly environment. I think this is really important because you want to make your surroundings helpful to your successes. You want to make your environment influence your habits so that you're more likely to succeed and harder to fail. So an example is make cues visible. Let's say water is your goal. You want to get that 6 glasses within the 2 months. Something that you can do is always keep a water bottle around and filled, whether it's on your desk or it's in your car or you keep it in a bag. If you always have it near you, you're more likely to reach for it, more likely to be successful. We also want to remove any barriers that may be in our way. So maybe if you've been tempted with soda or teas, we remove them from your fridge. And then change up what we have in our space. So when you open the fridge, have those water, whatever it may be, right at the front. So it's the very first thing you see. You're going to be more likely to grab that bottle of water than if you had the sodas and the iced tea right up front. You're going to have that, battle internally with, can I have a soda? Should I be drinking my water? If it's there, you're more likely. And then these are things that you can use no matter what your goal is. So sneakers, or having your clothes set out so that you wake up and it's the first thing that you see is your exercise clothes. Remove barriers. Maybe time is a barrier for you. You set your alarm clock 20 minutes earlier so that you have the time. And then you create that dedicated space. Maybe it's the corner of your family room, or you make a little makeshift gym in the storage room of your basement. There's lots of different ways that you can take whatever your goal is and make your environment more habit friendly so that you're more likely to be successful. And I love this. I think tracking your habits is so important because when you measure them, you get that check box. If you do the workout, you can automatically in your brain say, check, I did that 30 minutes a day. What gets done gets measured. Tracking increases your accountability and your motivation as well. We are lucky to have so much innovation in technology. There's all kinds of tracking devices and mobile apps that can help you, especially the Care First Wellbeing app. You can link your tracking device to Care First Wellbeing, so it's automatically uploaded and shared. You can use other different areas of Care First offerings, such as Noom or Eat Right Now, if you're trying to eat healthier or increase water. We have physical tools as well, and I think it's really independent of who you are and what works for you. So maybe tracking digitally is your thing. That's awesome. Maybe it's writing out a list and checking it off. What I've started doing is, even though I have a tracker and it's synced to my WellBeing app, I circle the days on my calendar that I did a physical activity 30 minutes or more. And that way I can look and say, this month, how many circles do I have? And for me, it's more of motivation and pride, especially when the months are really good. And another really great trick is having an accountability partner or friend or group, whatever it may be. If your goal is walking that 10,000 steps, that might be really hard to achieve. But if you're motivated because you're walking with a partner or a neighbor or a friend, or maybe it's you save your favorite shows and you play them when you're on the treadmill, or you sign up for Planet Fitness or one of a local gym, you can be more successful if you know that you're meeting a friend there, because that person's also counting on you and you can work together. So would love to hear from you guys. Um, what works for you? What's your best trick or strategy for maintaining habits? It's easy for, us to provide examples, but I would love to hear from you guys. Oh, somebody is reading or riding their exercise bike as they're listening to the podcast or to the presentation. That's phenomenal. It's something you were already going to do. Now you're just stacking it on. Setting boundaries is a good one. Scheduling time. We schedule time for everything and for everyone. Why not schedule a little bit of time for us? Having an accountability partner, walking every day. If I'm ever lacking motivation, I listen to motivational YouTubes. I love that. Sometimes quotes work for people, or pumping music, or listening to different types of podcasts and videos. One thing with physical activity that I truly believe is, if you're not enjoying it, you're doing the wrong thing. If you hate running, don't run, right? If you don't want it to feel like a chore, you want it to be enjoyable, you want to look forward to it. Instead, maybe try bicycling, or signing up for, Orange Theory, or a local Pilates class, or dancing. I mean, there's so many different types of physical activities. Find one you enjoy, that you look forward to, that doesn't feel like a chore. Having an exercise partner, writing it down, sticking to the same time. That's a really good trick in a different area of wellness that we like to teach when we're talking about sleeping. One of the best things you can do is go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning. That kind of has your body set into a routine. That could be the same thing with physical activity. If you're so used to doing it every morning at 8 a.m., when you miss it at 8 a.m., you're going to feel off, right? So it becomes a part of your routine. Bowling leagues, that's so fun. Pickleball, tennis, playing outside with the grandkids or your kids. I love this. Even if you're watching TV, right? Habit stacking. You're sitting there and you're watching TV. Grab cans of soup. if you don't have weights, and just do some types of lifting or stretching. I think we overlook stretching so much. That's a big part of being physically active. Lots and lots of good ones. Thanks so much for sharing, guys. We'll move on to our last area, which is consistency. Consistency is key. By starting small and staying consistent, you are going to be more successful. For some people, it takes longer than others to build a habit, but I like to focus on the near future, right? What you can see. So the first 21 days, 3 weeks, really give it that much time for your brain to create stronger neural pathways through repetition for it to become a habit. In the shorter end, drinking a glass of water daily, that is something that you can do. And maybe in the longer span, you want to establish a daily exercise routine, but start small. Small is, I want to drink 2 glasses of water. I want to get to that 6 glasses, but 6 glasses is a lot versus 2 glasses. 2 glasses, attainable. It's part of our SMART goals. We can do that. Getting to 6 glasses is going to be achievable if we take the time, right? Longer, remember, we just talked about establishing a routine. So saying you're going to work out 30 minutes every single day for the next 30 days may not be that achievable, especially if you're not doing any physical activity right now. Start small. 5 minutes. 5 minutes gets to 10 minutes. 10 minutes gets to 15. 15 gets to 20, and so on. Achieve it in small increments. And just give it at least 3 weeks. Give it your body and your brain enough time to build it into a habit. Now, again, I'm a firm believer in life happens. Sometimes things come up. They may deter us from our path. It's very possible that this is going to happen. But just kind of like the old saying goes, if you fall off the horse, you get back on. Tell yourself, I missed a day, I overate, or I didn't drink my water. Today's a new day. You can write a new story. There's a whole new page. So just make adjustments as you need so that you can still meet the goal. An example is, we just talked about being physically active at the same time, 8 a.m. in the mornings for 30 minutes. For some reason, life happens, the car didn't start, or the kids had a 2-hour delay and you couldn't be physically active. You can adjust, you can alter, you can still get that 30 minutes in, but maybe it just looks a little bit different. Maybe it's 15 minutes during lunch and it's 15 minutes at the end of the day. It will still count towards your 30 minutes. Make your habits fun. Remember, try to enjoy what you're doing so that it's something that you want to keep doing. And then track your successes. Create visual streaks. I love some of the apps that do give you notifications. Care First will, WellBeing will do it if you've had so many active days in a row. My Apple Watch does it when I close some of my rings. Those are really great ways to track your winning streak. I do want to say that it is frightening to realize our vulnerability after a fall, but we have to put our fear aside in order to progress. So if you fall off, don't give up. Dust yourself off, wipe your hands, wipe your knees, and climb back on, because that's life and that's well-being, that's wellness. You're going to do really well sometimes and you're going to stumble sometimes. But as long as you keep trying and you keep putting in the effort, you are going to reap the rewards. And then would love to hear from you guys in the chat. What do you think your biggest challenge is when you're trying to build or maintain a healthy habit? Work and life get in the way. Amen to that. Seeing how far you have to go. I feel that motivation, yes, absolutely. The weather right now, kids' sports, consistency, schedules, all of it. Yeah. I think a big part of it is mental, right? It's what we tell ourselves, it's what we allow ourselves to think. So, we have put together some common challenges of things that get in the way. So, common challenges include I don't have time, right? We say, I don't have time. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to take the kids there. I have to do this. You do have the time. We have that 2% of our day is that 30 minutes. So start small. Break the habit into 5 minutes or bite-sized actions. Prioritize your schedule. We prioritize everything for everyone. We need to prioritize ourselves as well. Because if we are not here and if we are not healthy, we are not going to be able to take care of everyone else. So even if you have to block off 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes, you need to do it. And then again, habit stack. Incorporate your goals and habits into routines you already do. One of the things in my era of life is my girls are in so many different sports and activities. And I spend a lot of evenings at sports fields. So instead of sitting in the car and scrolling on my phone or whatever it may be, I use that time for me. I walk the fields. I do different types of physical activity. I'm going to be there anyways. I might as well stack on something that I need to do. It's the old saying, kill two birds with one stone. I keep forgetting. Reminders are very helpful, whether it's a sticky note or it's an accountability partner. Having reminders around will help you not forget. Creating those visual cues, putting those shoes out, that's going to help you because if you see it, you're going to think about it. And then just getting back on track when you do forget, because again, life does happen. Reflect on what caused you to forget or miss the habit and adjust. Forgetting is normal, so don't feel like you're different if you forget. I don't have time and I keep forgetting. So instead of it, I'm going to make the time and I will remember. We have to shift the way that we think and what we tell ourselves. Some more common challenges include, I don't feel motivated enough. This is the one that I will 100% say gets me the most, especially like some of us pointed out, it's cold, it's dark, the weather, but change our thinking. I can motivate myself. I'm going to make it fun. I'm going to pair the habit with something that's enjoyable. Those shows that you just cannot wait to watch. You can watch them. Just try to pair it with being physically active at the same time. I do this a lot with like Netflix movies because when you really get into them, you kind of lose track of time and you're doing so much physical activity that it makes it just fly by. Continuously revisit your why and remember why we're wanting to do what we're wanting to do. Your why may be your health, which hopefully is a big one. Your why might be your family. Whatever it is that you are working towards, that why should be your motivation. And maybe it's a physical cue that we write out to live to raise grandchildren one day, or to be able to take care of my parents as they age. What is your why? Once you read that, just like the motivational videos that we were talking about, that's going to kind of start getting your engine revved up. And celebrate your progress. Acknowledge and reward yourself, even with small accomplishments. So there are days and times, and I'm sure most of you can relate, that you just don't want to do your physical activity, but tell yourself, I'm at least going to do 5 minutes. I'm at least going to dedicate 5 minutes. Chances are your 5 minutes is going to turn into 10 minutes, your 10 minutes may even turn into 20 minutes or longer, because we just need a little bit of physical activity to start getting our endorphins pumping and our blood pumping and everything going. And we're able to actually go further than we thought. And then acknowledge that and reward yourself. Pat yourself on the back. I got up this morning, and I actually did my physical activity. It feels really, really good when you accomplish something. And then I'm overwhelmed, especially coming off, gosh, the holiday season. We're all overwhelmed, right? But simplify your approach. We're not trying to do everything at once. We're not trying to build that house in a day, right? We got to take it room by room. We got to take it step by step. So start small. Even if your goal is, I need to lose 50 pounds. 50 pounds is a lot. It will take a long time to do. You have to give yourself the grace and the patience to do it. If the first week you want to start by drinking more water, fantastic. Maybe the second week, then you incorporate some physical activity. By the third week, you're drinking more water, you're being more physically active, and you're adding a vegetable to 2 of your meals. Over time, you are creating a healthier lifestyle that is going to get you to that weight loss that you want to get to. And you're going to have done it on your own, by yourself, with your own motivation and self-will. And that's going to be really something to be proud about. And break it down like we just talked about, and seek support. You have no idea how many people are internally battling health and well-being goals and things that they want. Talk about it with a friend. Share the journey. Ask each other, hey, did you get your workout in today? They'll ask you. Share different videos or ideas, or, hey, I thought of this. I'm going to walk while my, kids are in their music lesson, or I'm going to get to my dentist appointment early and I'm going to pace around the building until it's time to go in. Help each other out to the best of your ability. And you're not alone. You have us. You have Care First. We are an organization that truly cares about our members. You guys are people. You're an extension of our family. And this year, we have designed our Wellness Wednesday webinars to be a continuous journey to a healthier lifestyle. So we are, along with you, going to each month take it a month at a time, and we are going to add on a different area that we are going to focus, so that this time next year, we've learned about heart health, we've improved our nutrition, we are being more precautious in the sun. So as the months go on, the different topics are going to play onto each other, so that we are working together to build a healthier and healthier lifestyle. And I know I get, just so excited and passionate about wellness, but it really comes down to, you get one life, you get one chance, you get one shot. And the best thing that you can do for yourself and your family and your friends is to prioritize your health and your well-being. Last but not least, we do have Care First resources. So depending on your employment, you may have access to Care First Wellbeing. Care First Wellbeing is your one-stop shop for everything health and wellness. There is the Real Age Health Assessment, which is a clinically validated health assessment that guides you through a series of questions that determines the physical age of your body versus the calendar age. I like to tell people I'm still in my 20s per my real age. But it's so important because it gives you that kind of health report card, and then it makes the your user experience to be a tailored solution, because each individual, we're different, right? We have different health needs, concerns, family histories. So by taking that Real Age test, we are unlocking that individualized experience. There's personal health timeline. You're going to see things that are relevant to you: quizzes, articles, insights, videos, recipes, you name it. You have the ability to track within our Care First Wellbeing app by syncing your wearable devices. We have ongoing monthly challenges to keep you motivated and engaged. Everybody has their own secure health profile where they can access all of their important health information in one place. And we also have additional offerings. So we have Unwinding, which is similar to like a Calm app. I think it's a little bit more advanced because we have a learning pillar embedded as well. So you not only understand why the mind is doing what it's doing, but then you also have the resources to help. So guided imagery and relaxation sounds and sleep support. And then we have our core well-being programs as well. All of this, depending on your employment, is free to you. So our core well-being programs include health coaching, which is one-on-one telephonic coaching. You work with either a certified health coach or a registered nurse, depending on if you're in lifestyle management or disease management. We have weight management programs. We offer Noom and Eat Right Now, tobacco cessation, a craving to quit program that helps our members quit successfully, a financial well-being program, Smart Dollar, because again, remember, health is holistic. There's many different dimensions to it. It's not just physical, there's mental, emotional, financial, you name it. And then we also have, what's really cool, is a Blue 365 discount program where you get discounts just because you're a part of the Care First family. And the discounts range from everything to physical activity, home and family, travel, pets, and so much more. Last but not least, we also have additional Care First resources. We have preventative care checklists that you can use by going to this website. If you have registered for this presentation, obviously you're attending, but you will get this presentation mailed to you, emailed to you with the video recording as well. So you'll be able to access all of this. There's a health library that we have available for you to utilize. And we also have more Care First care management resources. Basically, if you want to discover more resources that are available to you, provided by Care First, you can use this QR code. And last but not least, I know we're over time. If there's any questions, I can reach out afterwards, or you can reach out to us at wellbeing@carefirst.com, and we will get back to you. There's going to be a short survey at the end. I really hope you all take it. I think it takes less than 2 minutes, but would love your feedback. Really want to thank you for attending today's presentation. You prioritized your health and well-being, and that should be recognized and applauded. We will have these every single month, so please come back, tell your coworkers, share it with your family and friends, and let's create a healthier and happier world. Thank you.